All right, welcome guys one more time to our program, the youth program. Just to remind you guys that we have this every Wednesday. Our times vary a lot. So like sometimes we have it at 7, sometimes we have it at 8. So we are very sorry for the being very how do you say this word? No, not late, but being very like all over the place with the schedules. Sometimes it's not in our hands, to do this. Okay, but welcome to the program one more time. I hope you guys are having a pretty blessed night. Because it's 7 already. And yeah, so welcome. Just a little reminders that we do have a retiro for May 27, 28, and 29. Remember that we do have limited spaces, so I suggest if you really want to go and if you really want to be involved with the retiro, that you contact Wendy or you contact our pastor, either or. Please, we really need you guys to tell us who's going because we need to be accountable for that in a way. It's gonna be a huge blessing. We have a lot of testimonies of people that. I mean, you went last year. You saw how crazy. It was kind of crazy. What do you think about the retiro from last year?
Retiro last year was honestly, like Jared said, every retiro every year is a blessing. There's always sometimes new things, new people that go and they have new experiences. Everybody has new experiences, and everybody does not. I hope that nobody, however, when they go, they don't come out the same way. So I know for a fact at least one went and didn't come back the same way. So I think it's a very good blessing for all of us, like the whole family, like a veces jóvenes, they can just go. And then it's a huge blessing because we also have like invitados that they go preach and stuff. It's a huge blessing for everyone. So like Jared said, if you guys have time, go because it's
Pretty.
time, honestly. And the whole weekend, you're like separated from here.
You're in the mountains, so you're away from everything.
Yeah.
Which is
it was
great.
good for the other retiros because like you don't have service.
Yeah, you don't have service.
Yeah.
And
it's good.
At least for me, it's very like hard to stay off social media.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I'm admitting.
You're being honest, yeah.
Yeah.
No, sometimes like you want to post where you're at and stuff too, but sometimes you have to keep it in and like just. It's nice. It's really nice. It gets really good. So
I really encourage you guys to go to our retiros. Like you guys heard from Dulce. It's pretty. The experience over there, it's crazy. Definitely God talks to you one way or another. At least in my experience, it was very direct. It was like super direct. I don't know with Dulce, yeah, the words were direct, and even when we had altar callings, it was pretty direct. So I would recommend. Also, every Monday, like every other Monday we have for young adults, which is 18 plus. Young adults also need their word. There's like different like words.
it's different
from doing like jóvenes and from doing it like. So if you're 18 plus and you need the word, I mean, you don't have to congregate here, but if you really want to come, I suggest you come because we also share after. We try to make everybody included at home.
Video at the end.
So if you really need that, I suggest you come. It's every other Monday. Like we had it this Monday. So next Monday we don't have it, but next Monday we do have it. So it's at 7:30. And one last thing, our services are every Sunday at 10 a.m. and every Friday at 9. And our address is 15677 Village Drive, Victorville, California 92392. Again, our address is 15677 Village Drive, Victorville, California 92392. I really do recommend you guys to come. So, with all our announcements already said, can we have Dulce, pray for us to introduce this?
Okay, so we're gonna pray for al tema that we're gonna be giving for guys today. Amén. Gracias, Señor, por este hermoso día que nos has permitido tener, Señor. Gracias porque nos permitiste venir en este lugar, Señor Jesús, aquí, Padre amado. Gracias porque has sido bueno con nosotros, Señor. No nos has dejado sin nada. Seas tú en este lugar, Señor Jesús, que sea tu presencia, Señor Jesús, y tus palabras en nuestras bocas que salgan, Señor Jesús, de ti, que no sean nosotros, Padre, hablando, Señor Jesús, nomás lo que podamos hablar, Señor Jesús, Señor, que sea tú hablando en nuestros corazones y que para que podamos tener y dar esta palabra a los que nos ven, Señor Jesús, que esta palabra sea una palabra, Señor Jesús, que se les quede en el corazón de por lo menos a uno, Señor Jesús, y que se les sea de edificación, Padre amado. Seas tú en este lugar y úsanos. Amén, amén. Y amén.
All right, so today, let me pull up, you know. Okay, so we're gonna talk about interest. Interest. It's something you're interested in. So pretty much, it could mean a lot of things. Interest could be you're gaining interest or you're losing interest. Normally when you lose interest in something, it's because it says in the word you're simply not interested in that. You simply don't care about what's going on. And when you're gaining interest in something, it means you're, like the word says again, you're interested in something. You actually care about what's going on in your environment or what's going on with that simple thing happening in front of you. An example of having interest, it's you hanging out with your friends at school, and you're talking to them, you're interested in whatever they're saying, An example of losing interest, it's, let's say, you find, let's say at the beginning of school year, you find soccer really, really, really good. You like going in practice, you like doing this, but then over the time, you start to not care about it. Like, don't go to practice, be as passionate about it as you used to be in the beginning. That's losing interest. I don't know if you agree with me. What does interest mean to you, Dulce? Like, what does like interest personally mean to you? I mean, you could use a dictionary too, but I also want to know what else it means.
Interest for me, it's like something, well, for example, like you said, with people, like pretend you're like talking to someone and they're saying something very like, important, and then you like have interest in them, like your focus is all in them, and you're like, oh, this is like, it's catching my attention, But another thing of losing interest is when something, well, like we can say like we're getting bored of it, or like we don't even see nothing like happening, or it's like, oh, this is boring. Or like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to talk to that person anymore. Like that's what I think.
Simply doing something, like
an
activity or something, you don't care.
Sometimes we tend to do it like a good example would be like when we go like in like the beginning of the year, we're like, oh, we're gonna have straight A's, and at the very end we end up with like, and then you're just
like more losing motivation.
No, yeah.
Losing interest. Motivation has to go along with interest.
Losing, well, like it's like it goes like back to back because it's like you lose interest of like doing your homework.
Have interest, you have motivation,
Yeah.
So, all right. So that's all you have for. Okay. So now translating this to our church environment, I'm pretty sure a lot of us watching go to church. And if you don't go to church, to find your local church, or like I said, I already introduced the address at the beginning, it should come out somewhere around the live stream, but I'll say it at the end, But anyways, if you don't have a church already, you go look for one. If you don't, sometimes people need words, but it's pretty much like for I was talking to someone earlier, like I'm part of the worship team, I play drums, for me, losing interest in something will be also losing passion for something, So when I was new to church, I was like super excited about. I'm not saying I'm not, but I was like super excited about every single little thing, And I started doing it, every day. I started coming to practice every day. I started like playing every weekend. At least once a week I started playing. And I had that passion in me. But then, at least for me, and I'm gonna be honest, it started turning into a routine. It started turning into something I was doing every weekend. That I was only doing it because I had to. Because I was in the schedules, because if I didn't do it, I would get in trouble, That's when I started playing drums, And, that's when, for me, in the church, in something I was in love with, It took me a while to actually, like, fall back in love with it, And I thank God that I took the break from from doing it, because it taught me how much I liked it, and how much being interested and passionate in it could change. Because when you're passionate about something, when you're interested about something, you give like your heart to it. Let's say you like someone. You're gonna put your heart to it. You're gonna have interest in that one person. Or interested in something you're doing. Like I already said, you're passionate about it. So at least for me, and at least for the church environment, routine can kill something you're interested in. If you start doing something so repeatedly that instead of being like you're doing it because you like it, but instead you're doing it because you simply like, because let's say you're on a schedule, because you're doing it because you will get in trouble, you're doing it because you will have a consequence, or you're doing it because like you have to, that's losing interest, So we always have to stay passionate, whether we have to do it or don't have to do it. Anything you would like to add to that? I hope that makes sense.
No, yeah, just
I
like
hope
in
I
your
understand.
ministerio, like you said, it can go like for all ministerios, sometimes we come like the very first time, like it catches your attention, you're like, oh, I want to sing, or oh, I want to like play drums
you're
and stuff,
excited because, like,
and it catches your attention.
because I think humans like they like new things. I think it's in our human nature that after a while of doing something, you want to try to do other things. And like I said, you lose interest in the other thing, because we as humans, we like to try new experiences. And it's good, but it's bad sometimes, because sometimes you leave something that benefits you because you want to have another experience, another feeling, just because it's going to make you feel good at that moment. Because like I said, it's human nature that we as humans want new experiences every time, like maybe one day, like I get bored of soccer, but I start doing something else that I completely suck at, that I'm not good at, like let's say I do soccer and I go swimming. Like what does that have to do with anything, like just because I want an experience doesn't mean it benefits me, Just because like I want something new as a human doesn't mean it's gonna benefit me, So we always gotta be careful for that. That just because it's something new doesn't mean it benefits us.
Yeah. So basically, just like Jed was saying, I think like it also can fit with like our lifestyles, like you said, how like sometimes like we can go and want to sing, or like your drums, we can like talk about your drums. Like how he plays drums, sometimes like people are like use it for this and they say it's routine, like the same songs probably, or all. So they use it for another lifestyle. They go and use drums to like play worldly music, or like to do because it's even better. Yeah.
But because it makes them feel good. Because
they want to try something new, but like he said, it doesn't always benefit you. So sometimes we get bored of the good things, but it always has something like at the end of the day, it's like we're doing it for God.
You always gotta stay passionate about what you're doing, because you're doing it for a reason. It's not. You didn't get a talent just because, you got a talent because you had a purpose on this earth, and you're supposed to use it for good,
Yeah, we can't do that as well. With the talent that God gave us to use at church, we can't go out and use it for other things.
Of course.
Yeah. You want to read one of your verses?
So I have one of the verses that actually one of the elders from the church gave to me, This verse is John 21:1. I have it in English, and I could also read it in Spanish, but because most of our viewers are English speaking, at least I think, because we're sharing it with the Jóvenes, But this is an example of the disciples losing interest in something. So it says, after this, Jesus revealed himself again to the disciples at the Sea of Tiberias. He revealed himself this way: Simon Peter, Thomas, called the twin, Nathan. How do you say that? Nathaniel of Cana in Galilee. I'm sorry, English is not my first language. So the sons of Zebedee, I think, and two more of the disciples were together. Simon Peter said to them, "I am going fishing," and they said they will go with you. So can you just imagine how crazy this is? Like they have Jesus in front of them, and they go, all right, let's go fishing. Like, can you imagine, like, just imagine that in like the literal sense that you have Jesus in front of you, and then you say, all right, let's just go fishing. I don't know. I mean, I mean, at least me. I mean, maybe they were used to seeing Jesus so much, But I mean, like, I don't know. It's still Jesus, I mean, I'm pretty sure they knew that he was the Son of God, But I don't know. Like, at least for me, like, if I see Jesus in front of me, I'm gonna start crying. I don't know. What would you do in the situation,
No, like the hermano said, he was like, they said that because cuando resucitó, they were like, they didn't like put interest in, they didn't have interest in God anymore because I guess they didn't believe it, right? They didn't believe like algo así, and like they were just like, okay, like let's just go, and it's
like
like
the verse said, like, let's go fishing, So I mean, like I said, maybe they were used to seeing Jesus. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I'm pretty sure they knew he was the Son of God, But that's another example of like losing interest, Like maybe that use that one time he's gonna stop talking to you to put you to the test, and then you're just not gonna care anymore, That you're so used to God being close to you and talking to you every day and constantly like reassuring you and making you a better person, that one time he might put you to the test of him not talking to you like at all, and then that's when he's gonna see if you're the real, like, if you love God as much as you say you love God, because sometimes, like, let's take it in the literal sense, let's say I'm your friend, and sometimes we think like, oh, he's not talking to me, so I'm not gonna talk to him, like, oh, like, let's say I text her and she doesn't text me back until like let's say 1 month, let's exaggerate, and I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm not gonna talk to her because she didn't talk to me, So maybe we could turn into that kind of person, but with God, just for the simple reason that he's not talking to us anymore. But you gotta remember that God puts you to that test to see if you really love him like you say you love him, Because I could say that I love him in words. Like, I could say I love God right now, but do I really show it in private when I'm alone in my room, when it's just me and I'm just staring at the ceiling, Like, do I mean it, There was a time when like God didn't talk to me for a cool minute, It was hard. It was really hard because like I mean, he's our father, I'm pretty sure if you have a mom or a dad, you expect them to talk to you. I mean, you live in their household, I think it was the same with this, that God didn't talk to me for a while, and I was getting sad. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I was getting really, really, really sad. But there was times where I really wanted to give up and not be in church anymore, and just to come. But I thank God that I kept my mentality that one day he was gonna come back, and he did. God definitely came back, and he spoke to me like this last year. He spoke to me a lot in 2021, which is when 2020 he was speaking to me, but not as much, But I was still holding on to him, Then 2021 is he spoke to me the whole entire year, and then it was amazing to know that he still knew me as his son, if that makes sense. I don't know if you want to. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. No, it's like the same thing I preached on Monday, remember, about like listening to God's voice. Sometimes we tend to be like, or he doesn't listen to us, or he doesn't give us the things we want. And we tend to go our own ways, like I was saying. We tend to go our own ways or lose faith, because I was saying that's one thing that we have to do when we think or we feel like God is not listening to us, he is, And that's one thing that we do. We like lose faith and we lose interest. We go our own ways. We tend to, I don't know, like if this ever happens to you, but like we tend to like go, when something happens to us, you're like, oh, I don't even want to put effort in this anymore. It's like, why, But we shouldn't be like that. And like you learn the hard way too, because it's like God is always there for us, and no matter what.
I think what's wrong with this generation is that we simply give up really easily,
Yeah.
I feel like this whole generation has gotten accustomed to just giving up, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
It
oh,
was
like,
this.
God's not talking to me, you know, like, I'm not gonna try anymore, you know? So, I think that's bad for our
Yeah.
generation because, like I said, I was talking to someone about it, I forgot who it was, but, like, what we gotta learn is that we gotta push through, you know? Like, nothing is gonna come easy by just giving up, you know?
Yeah.
By completely losing interest because it didn't work your way, you know? I feel like if you have that mentality throughout
Yeah.
life, you're not gonna succeed because you have the mentality of losing interest when something doesn't go your way.
And giving up fast.
Yeah, and that's not what life is about. At least me
No,
personally,
yeah.
I don't think life is about giving up as soon as losing interest as soon as something gets hard.
Yeah. And of course, life is not ever gonna be easy.
Yeah.
Life is hard, and sometimes
Whoever told you life is gonna be easy, they're lying
It's
to you.
not.
They were
No,
lying
yeah.
to you. So yeah, definitely, life. It's like Dulce
Yeah.
said, life. It's never gonna be easy. It's always gonna have some sort of hardship. But I feel like we should keep interest in the end goal. And our end goal is to go with Jesus Christ at the end of the day. You know, it's to go up there when we hear the trumpets. You know, it's to go up there like to be the wife of Jesus Christ. You know, because like you guys know that like people stay, but they could go. They have a second chance if they don't get like the mark of the beast. I don't know if you heard something
Yeah.
about that. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have heard
yeah,
about that.
people have heard about that.
Yeah, that you.
They have a second chance, but why would we want to stay for the second chance?
I don't
you
want to.
know?
I don't want to be invited. You know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be the main thing. No?
Like go on the first time he comes,
Yeah,
you know.
I'm
Like
try-
of course there's a second chance. Like there's a second chance, you know.
Yeah.
But why stay? Like you don't even know if you're actually gonna like
And you might
survive.
be presented that opportunity to be the wife of Jesus, and you completely wasted it because you're sleeping. You know.
Yeah, and we have time right now, and like
Yeah.
in the Bible, and there's like a lot of preachers right now, and like todo lo que está pasando, that he's coming
Yeah.
soon, and we don't like sometimes we don't go and like think about it, and that's why like I don't know, but
And if you're Christian, you know, I mean, I wasn't born Christian, but ever since I became Christian, I've heard that God is coming, you know, and I'm pretty
and
sure.
it's been going for a long time,
and if you
people
are born,
lose, like interest in it because they're like, no, he's not coming. Like it
Yeah.
has happened for a lot of time.
Another example of losing interest, you know.
Uh-huh.
There you go. Even for old people that have been in the ministry for 30 plus years, you know, they lose interest because, you know, how many times has the human been wrong about God coming, you know?
Yeah.
How many times like I hear pastors saying, you know, he's always like ever since I've been in the ministry, like I've been hearing about God coming, and he just hasn't came, you know.
Yeah.
And I feel like people lose interest, but again, we can't lose interest, especially in today's times when we are given clear signs that God is coming, you know.
Yeah,
Like,
especially now, like it's been crazy.
yeah, like
Yeah.
if you sleep right now, looking at all these signs,
Yeah.
like that's on you. You know, I feel like that's on you because
Yeah.
because everything that the Bible has, everything that's good in the Bible has been
It's been happening.
it's been happening. You know, like rumors of war. You know, like natural disasters. All of that, it's happening. You know, I don't know if you guys like remember the red moons. You know, like that was crazy. Like
Yeah.
like back.
And it wasn't like that long ago.
I was in
so
middle
it's
school.
like, yeah.
I was in middle school when that happened. And I don't know, like those red moons were supposed to be like a confirmation of like God coming, you know.
So
That's-
he's like giving us like straight up signs.
Yeah.
Straight up signs, and like we're like kind of asking for it to like I want to see you first, you know. And like of course.
I feel like a
there's
total
second chances.
sign that he gave us was, I don't know if you remember like a total eclipse that happened
Oh, yeah.
not too long ago. Like that was another little sign, you know, that we got to experience. I mean, I never got to experience a
No,
total
yeah.
solar. Was it solar? It was solar, yeah.
Solar.
I never got to experience a total solar eclipse until
like,
now, you know,
yeah.
and yeah. So yeah, make sure to not lose interest in the word. Anything you would like to add? Any verses you would like to read?
Yeah. For Galatas 1:10 is for am I seeking the approval of man or of God, or am I trying to please men? If I were still trying to please men, I would not be servant of Christ. So we can't be in two. We can't be like our foot stepped in like the church and then our foot stepped on the world, because it's like you lose interest either on one or another. You put like you're focused on one or another. You can't have both. You can't be on both, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to.
So sometimes we spend too much time trying to please the human. We lose interest on what really matters because we try to please the human. feel like that's also dangerous, you know, because I mean, pleasing a human, it's really hard because the moment they give us something that pleases us, we want more and more and more and more, you know, like food, like food. I mean, you could tell, you know, like food. Like I like food. I like eating, you know, like even if you don't eat a lot because for healthy reasons. but like eating, it's one of life's pleasures, you know. But have you ever had something so good that you keep eating it until you're like so full? For me, I like wings a lot. I like wing stuff, you know. You like wing stuff? I think wing stuff is pretty good. And I eat it until like I'm stuffed, you know. Which sometimes is bad because like right now I'm talking about food, but some jóvenes are going through actual addictions, you know, that those addictions are keeping them away from the main interest, which is Jesus Christ, and Jesus should always be our main interest, you know. Anything you want to add to that?
No, basically just literally the same thing you said. Like we just tend to stuff ourselves with stuff from the, like you're talking about food, but it can also go like different ways for like all the jóvenes that are going through stuff, and we want more. Like just like you said, somebody like pleases us, we want more. But let's have that mindset, but with God. Like let God please us and give us more, you know, and look for Him.
Yeah. So like I said, don't try to put your interest in the human, because the human is good at disappointing. The human is really, really good at disappointing. But someone who has never disappointed, it's Jesus, you know. He was there for the day he had to be crucified, you know. He wasn't late. He wasn't, you know, he was there, you know. He attended to his appointment of death. We could say, you know, because he was there when he was supposed to be crucified for us. So you best believe that he's gonna be there when he has to come back, you know. So he's not gonna disappoint. He didn't disappoint when he had to die for our sins. He's not gonna disappoint when he has to come back for us. So we should always keep that interest in the not in the human. I mean, what? We should always have that interest not in the human, but in Jesus Christ, because human disappoints, God does not disappoint. So, with that being said, that's all we had today. I feel like I learned a lot today. I feel like the word touches me first, and then it touches.
Touch you first before.
Before we bring it to you guys, you know. So that's about it for us. Thank you very, very, very much for joining us. You know, if you have them Mondays. It's just tune in between 7 or 8 around those times. We always have it around 7 or 8. It depends on because right now it's find the right times that work for everybody, you know. So we're gonna be here like the young adults. We're gonna be here every other week. We had the program this week because last week canceled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be last week.
Yeah.
It's like every other, so it's like switches. Mondays we have we have the service, and then we don't have the program.
Yeah.
And then next week we don't have the service, but we have the program. But this week we had both.
Yeah, we had both because we got canceled last week.
Canceled. So we switched. We just
moved
moved over
yeah.
to this week.
So this week we had young adults, and we weren't supposed to have program, but like I said, it got canceled. So next week we have program again. So, but then after that program we have young adults, but we do not have the program, and then it just goes back and forward. So yeah, so thank you very much for watching. This was our young program, and I don't know if you want to pray for us. You want me to pray? Okay, so I'm gonna do it in Spanish, okay? So gracias Jesús por todo lo que nos has dado en este día, Señor. Gracias por dejarnos venir a tu casa, reunirnos una vez más en este bonito estudio que nos has regalado. Por los jóvenes que nos están viendo, por los jóvenes que nos verán, por la futura generación, que por favor los ayudes a tener el mejor interés para sus vidas, Padre, y el mejor interés sabemos que siempre va a ser tú. Que pongas tu mano santa en ellos y que los bendigas y que los ayudes a estar en el camino correcto, que los ayudes a a estar enfocados en lo que es nuestra meta para ser padre que eres tú. Así como no fallaste tu cita de muerte, tú no fallarás tu cita para regresar por tu iglesia, por tu amada. Te damos gracias por este día, en nombre de Dios Todopoderoso. Amén. All right, thank you guys for tuning in. All right, thank you. Bye.